Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Good morning ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the monthly compliance and legislation update for September 2019. On behalf of the South African Accounting Academy, my name is Lettie Janse van Vuuren and I will be your facilitator for the next 2 hours. Right, as you can see on this slide, we're busy with the update for September now. Starting with our welcome slide, looking at the logistics. We've got the slideshow presentation that you've got already uploaded to your profile, and if you haven't got it yet, you can click on the link. It is available to you now for download. Then the monthly webinar material and the source documents are uploaded to your profile after the webinar, sort of by this afternoon, right? So it's immediately uploaded, and now those are the two ones that I refer to during the webinar. So you sit back, relax, focus on your slides, and I will be jumping between the slides, which is like the short summary, moving into the monthly webinar material, which contains a little bit more detail, and then the source documents, which is like the major document that all the info comes from. Right. So as we've got a lot of documents, we do zip it into a compressed folder for your convenience. So let me just quickly go and show you what the webinar material and the source documents look like. Let me quickly go to my other screen. There we go. There you'll see the webinar material for September 2019, monthly compliance and legislation update. And those of you that are new to the webinar circuit for MCLU, you'll notice that every month my contents pages are very, very detailed. And they follow the same order as the slides do, so it's easy to follow. And you'll see one accounting update, 4 items for auditing and so forth. And you can use these as jumps, right? But those are the main categories that we deal with, and then each and every topic is dealt with underneath. And that's that, right? So you'll see this month we don't have that many big topics. We've got, or not that many small ones, really. We've got, last month I think we had like 20 or something regulator updates. So next month we'll be going through all the newsletters, and then there should be a little bit more around the meat there. But we've got enough to keep ourselves busy with for now. Right, so the webinar material is here, and then let me just show you what the source documents look like. You'll see the source documents, only 26 items this month, whereas we've had in excess of 40 and 50 before. But in this folder called CIPC deregistration lists, you'll see that there are 11 in there as well. So in these 11 items, those 11 lists are also available to you. And then let me just show you, you'll see the prefix or the first couple of names, in the first couple of letters in the name of these documents, you'll see deals with BCEA. So you'll see that stands for Basic Conditions of Employment Act. CIPC, CT for Companies Tribunal, FSCA, all those documents, URBA guides, all of them together, SAICA, and then SARS. Right. So all of the documents are together, that and so that you can see in which section it falls under. Because I do find it's difficult to find the source documents sometimes if you don't know where it comes from. So the main source to go through would be from your webinar material, and then it'll say at the back, at the bottom, this is available to you as a source document. Right. And then you'll find it. So let's get back to our slides. On the slides, you'll see there all our training that we offer here at SAAA is recognized for CPD hours by various professional bodies because our policy is compliant with IFAC's IES 7. After the webinar is finished, we will also be having a Q&A session which is live. So I will be online during the webinar. So the video recording that you are listening to now, I will be online during the video recording to field any questions. So if you have questions, please send them through as the webinar progresses, and I will then try to answer those as the webinar goes ahead. So at the end of the webinar, if I have a couple of answers, I will discuss all of that with you. And if we have any new ones, we can just then add them on afterwards. Right. You can also, if you've got to run off afterwards and not stay for the Q&A session, you can also email questions to info@accountingacademy.co.za. Remember to just show your subject line, MCLU September 2019, with whatever question you've got. All right. Important that you do try and add that, because as you can think, the info mailbox contains a lot of different questions, and a lot of mail gets through there. So for your mail not to get lost in the masses, make sure that we get it as soon as possible. All right. Okay. So let's get started. You'll see on the accounting side this month, only one item. We've only got our normal update. Under auditing and other assurance services, we have 4 items from IRBA. Company secretarial, 3 items. Employment law, 2 items there. Other laws and regulations, we have 3 items this month. Taxation, 6 items. And then regulator news, 7 items. General announcements or just new release. I've got a news release there for you. Very interesting topic, 1 item. Right. So even though we don't have the numbers this month, I think the meat that we have around it is quite nice. So let's get started with our accounting update. On the accounting update, you'll see I've only included the most relevant topics for you from the IFRS monthly news summary. I do go onto the IFRS Foundation webpage, and I go from there on, I can go to any of the standards boards on their committees and whatnot. So they do have a couple of new board members, so you're more than welcome to go and have a look at that. In the webinar material, you've got links to all the supporting documents and to all the resources that you might possibly need. Right. So it is in your material if you want to go and have a look at that. The first one that they're looking at is the draft Q&A on the IFRS for SME standard that's published for public comment. Now, they want everybody to comment on this. It's on the application of IFRS for SMEs. So how to apply that. Now, the draft Q&A responds to a question about the application of specifically undue cost or effort exemption. And this is for the investment property on the date of the acquisition of the, transition to the IFRS for SME standard. So the draft Q&A basically concludes that the additional cost and effort that is due to the elapse of time from the dates of transition and the dates of preparing the first IFRS for SMEs financials is not considered. So it says there, any additional cost from when it becomes effective is not considered. So the draft Q&A has been drafted and developed by the SME implementation group, SMAG. So they basically help the IASB in supporting the application of IFRS for SME standard. So developing any sort of non-mandatory and timely guidance on how to apply IFRS for SMEs is one of the 2 main responsibilities of this implementation group. They also then advise the board on any amendments. But they did do a comprehensive review of the standard, and you'll see that we're going to deal with the comprehensive review to the IFRS for SMEs next month. It was released very early in September, so we will be dealing with that next month. Because it's been a comprehensive review since 4 years ago, since we had the 2015 changes. Right. So the draft Q&A, it's the second one to be published since they started with this, and it was completed in May 2015. So it's the second one, and it is open for comment up until the 7th of October. All your links are in your webinar material, and you can access it all through there. Right. But I do think that that's got to be the main item, the draft Q&A on IFRS for SMEs, because everybody says, well, yes, I'm going to use this, and there is an exemption on investment property because there's undue cost and effort. Why must I go and apply this for investment property? Because to do that is just going to be so much more hassle. Right. Unfortunately, that hassle has to be ascertained in line with undue cost or effort, and only if that's the case, then the exemption would kick in. Right. The second item there deals with the IASB update that was published. The IASB stands for what? It is the International Accounting Standards Board. That is the IASB. So this is just their update, and the update's been published. And the topic that was discussed at the meeting was
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.